Hello everyone, welcome to Canteen Cup. My name is Scott, and how's everybody today? This is a continuation of the rainy day saga. We still have things we have to do, and so since I can't go outside today because it's just raining cats and dogs, that I've worked on my pistol as we saw in an earlier video, and then now we are making what's called beef bone broth. Now, why is it important to have beef bone broth? Well, it's because this particular type of broth is very healthy for you. And I've got a piece of paper here I'm going to read from a little bit that talks about some of the good stuff in here. It says bone broth is a source of minerals like calcium, phosphorus, magnesium, and potassium. It forms in your body, forms that your body can easily absorb. It's also rich in glycerin and proline, amino acids not found in significant amounts of muscle meat. It also contains chondroitin sulfates and glucosamine, the compounds sold as supplements to reduce inflammation, arthritis, and joint pain. Finally, soup bones include collagen, a protein found in connective tissue of vertebrate animals, which is abundant in bone marrow, cartilage, tendons, and ligaments. So, my dog is barking, so I guess maybe somebody's here. So today we are making it, and why is it important to make your own bone beef stock? Well, because when you buy the stuff from grocery stores, it's cooked at high temperatures, which destroys a lot of this goodness. Now, why is it important to have it in your house? It's important to have it in your house because when you're sick, or when you're ill, or even just for good health, preventive medicine, it's very good for you. When you're sick, it allows you to drink it. Some people take like 8 ounces a day in the morning, like coffee or tea. So today, we are making our own version of beef bone stock, and I'll show you what we're putting in it. So we have about 3.5 pounds of soup bones. We're going to add some salt, 2 onions, some garlic, some celery, and some carrots. I'm going to cut all these up coarsely. I'm going to put them in the slow cooker with about 4 quarts of water. And then we're going to cook this for a long period of time, probably about 12 hours or so. And then when we're done, we're going to strain it out, and then we'll either freeze it or refrigerate it and use it as we need it. Like I said, this is especially because of the protein and the calories in it. It's really good when you're sick with a cold or a flu and you don't feel like eating, but yet you have to get good stuff in your body. So it reduces inflammation. It gives you calories. It gives you protein, amino acids. Everybody should have it. Oh, I forgot to add, we're also going to put some apple cider vinegar in here. So I'm going to put this all together and I'm going to cook it, and then we'll take it to the next step. I don't think you need to see a video of the broth cooking for 12 hours. So we'll be back after we're done cooking. We'll see you. Hello everyone, just checking back in. It's been a couple hours since we started this. We are making our beef bone broth in a slow cooker, and so where we are now is we have the setting on high, and we are waiting for everything to heat up to where it just starts to bubble. And then once it does that, we're going to turn it down to low and let it simmer for 12 to 24 hours. And so this is what it looks like. It's a shame you can't smell it because it smells really, really good. So, anyhow, I will check back in later. We'll see you. Alrighty, back for another update. We let this cook for almost 24 hours and let it cool down. And now I am straining it. I'm going to strain it into a steel strainer, and then I'm going to go to a finer strainer. And then I'll put it in the fridge and let the fat rise to the surface and harden. Skim that off and then package it. So we'll check back in, but it's looking and smelling really good. All right, so I've kind of finished doing the first strain. As you can see, it looks pretty good. We'll put it through another strain here in a little bit. But one of the things that my mother taught me many years ago, when she used to boil soup bones as a regular part of life and food preparation, is after she boiled the bones to make the stock, is that she would dig out the marrow, and that's that little chunky piece is looking in there. And what she would do is we would put it on a piece of buttered bread, and then that was a treat for me. It's very tasty and very healthy for you. Got lots of good stuff, lots of minerals, and so that's what I got going on here. I'm fixing to have a little treat. So, all right, a little bit more later on. We'll see you. All right, well, here's a wrap up of our beef bone broth exercise. What we have done here is we have gone ahead and took the bones from the last batch and decided to cook them one more time and added some more vegetables. We also skimmed the fat off the first batch, which we put in the refrigerator, and what that does is as the broth cools, the fat floats to the top and solidifies. It makes like a white crust. I was going to take a video of that, but my wife had already done the task before I got to it, so I think most of you who have done any cooking understand what that is. And so what she did is, once it's solidified, it kind of forms a white layer on top of the broth, and she just took a spoon, skimmed that off, and put it in here. And so we're letting this cook. We'll let this cook all day, and then once this is done, we will strain it, cool it, and then we will pour it into these little disposable Tupperware containers, this and the other batch, and then we'll probably freeze most of them, and they're good for about a year if you freeze them, and then we'll keep one or two out for general use. It's a good thing to add to stews and soups. It adds flavor. You can make a gravy with it. You can just drink it plain. It actually tastes rather good. You may need to season it a little bit, add a little salt, a little pepper, but there's a lot you can do with beef bone broth. However, it is great when you're sick, when you have a cold, when you have the flu, when you need to eat something and get fluids in you, but you're not real hungry, or if you have a real sore throat that you don't want to eat any solid foods. This is a good source of nourishment. It also has a lot of minerals, has a lot of proteins, a lot of amino acids. It has stuff in there that reduces inflammation, so that would be good for colds and flus. It'll help reduce your aches and pains. It's a good general food to take when you're not feeling well. So it's easy to make, as you saw. I kind of took you through the whole process in bits and pieces, but you know where to get soup bones. I got these at Publix. Probably any grocery store that has a butcher shop, you can go back and ask if they have soup bones, and they can sell them to you. They're cheap. They're only a couple bucks. I don't even think I think it's less than $2 a pound. I forget what it was, but it's not a whole lot of money. And you can use the bones a couple times. I think we're just going to use them twice and then get rid of them. And then as we get down, we'll just buy some more and continue the process. It's pretty easy because we do it in a slow cooker. Just turn it on high until it bubbles, and turn it on low and let it sit for 12 to 24 hours, and you're good. So anyhow, that's what we got going for now. Hope you found this useful. It's always good to have some on hand. So everybody stay safe and stay secure.